So yeah, welcome everyone to our new Plauti product update. We are excited to have you all here today. And as per the title of today's webinar, we're going to cover the latest Plauti release, which enabled mass actions in combination with duplicate check and record validation. We're going to start by providing a super quick presentation of Plauti, and then we will jump into today's agenda. We're aiming to be a bit interactive today as well, so look forward for our polls coming right up. So, my name is Nicola, account executive and host for today's panel. And together with me today is Ruben, product owner at Plauti and co-host for today's webinar. We will showing you the great update, which came, I think it was like a couple of weeks ago, with the latest Plauti release, by putting together a few demos and of course, helping out with your questions in the dedicated Q&A session. A bit about us, for those who are tuning in for the first time, we are Plauti, generating data happiness since 2012. And therefore, making sure that you are pushing your activities to the next level when you're in charge of managing and using data in your organization. Plauti is the company behind the Plauti Data Management Suite, Duplicate Check, Record Validation, and the Data Action Platform. Duplicate Check is our data quality solution to find, merge, and prevent duplicates at any point of entry. Record Validation, our solution to validate and format email addresses, phone numbers, and physical addresses. And the Data Action Platform, our new entry into the Plauti family, is our mass action tool enabler, made it to empower user in Salesforce. And last but not the least is our Plauti Data Management, our complete data management enterprise solution, which enables your Salesforce to be your single and complete source of truth by deduplicating, validating, consolidating, and standardizing custom records in your CRM with full adoption and implementation support. All Plauti applications are 100% native force.com solution. And this means that we always provide Salesforce safety peace of mind with more efficient implementation and full integration with your Salesforce business logic and custom processes. Here's a brief dolly shot of our global customers in data quality. As you can imagine, yes, they are all Salesforce user. However, more than the tool itself is the new way of envisioning customer expectations, and they need to build a true customer 360 view that is connecting all our global customers. And so the need to add great value to their own Salesforce power and end user alike, with less tech headache implementation and few easy steps. So on today's agenda, as we mentioned at the beginning, Ruben will go over our newest product release. We will learn from the new interconnectivity of our data quality apps, which opens to interesting scenarios, which you will see later on. We will drop a couple of polls here and there to learn about your experience on the tools and also to learn how it resonates with what you see today. We will furthermore show you a little bit of what's coming in 2023 with duplicate check, record validation, and data action platform. And as we want to keep this more interactive, we would like to also to have your questions in the Q&A session after the showcase. And of course, you're free to drop your questions in the QA Zoom section at any time, and even in the chat box as well. To conclude, we will go over our season offers, so stay tuned to learn more about our great discounts on our products. We are aiming to wrap in everything within 45 minutes, and the recording will be provided also via email as well. However, we do encourage you to stick around until the end to even drop questions during the presentation. Now, without further ado, I will leave the stage to my colleague Ruben. Take it away, Ruben. I think you're mute.
Yes, I'm still setting or changing some windows after sharing my screen. Thanks a lot for the introduction, Nicola. So thanks everyone for joining today's product update webinar. Yeah, we're happy to show you what we did lately, and yeah, one of the two things that we're going to show you guys today is the interconnectivity that Nicola just talked about. We are working towards a feature set so that our applications can work together in a better way. As you know, this year we launched a new product called the Data Action Platform, which empowers users to execute bulk actions on their data. And the platform on itself allows you to allocate these bulk actions to users in Salesforce. For example, you can grant the mass update capabilities to your sales team, or the assign ownership capabilities to someone from revenue operations, and so on and so on. But we also have gotten many requests that people want to do, for example, mass update actions on duplicate check results or on record validation results. So what we've built is an integration between the three apps so that you can work with all the DEP actions that we currently have in a duplicate check context or in a record validation context. And the feature set that we want to bring out there consists out of 3 steps, which we'll talk about later. And today, we've launched the first step, which is already live in everyone's production environments, so ready to make use of. The data action platform tool has a free version, and the integration or the internet connectivity between the apps is free. So that means that without having a paid subscription for DAP, you can already make use of some bulk actions in a duplicate check or record validation context. If we look at the actions that data action platform currently has, we have a mass delete action, a find and replace action in the traditional sense of the word, really powerful tool to have in Salesforce. We have a mass convert, in which we can convert leads to accounts, contacts, person account without a duplicate context. We have a very powerful assign ownership action, which you can distribute records to, for example, one person, or to divide the ownership of a selection of records to a group of users. Really nice. We have mass update, and we have a tool called set account hierarchy, which is a really nice one in the duplicate check context, and it's also a widely requested feature. The cool thing about Data Action Platform is that it runs within Salesforce. So it's a native tool. That means that we do not transfer any data at any point to execute these things. So no longer you have to export your records, do your magic in Excel, import them again. Our goal is to have all these functionalities available from within Salesforce. So from a data security point of view, that's of course very interesting. So yeah, I'm going to show you this first thing right now in Salesforce. I have my Salesforce environment here, and we can start Data Action Platform actions in 2 ways. We can start it from a duplicate results job, so a results list that we generate from a duplicate check job, but we can also start it from the DEP job page, and where you can select the records or all the records that come from a duplicate check job. So when we, for example, access one of the lists of the duplicate results list that we have here, for example, the account one, which I've prepared, you will see that I currently have 2 groups of duplicate records in here. The first one is clear duplicate, right? AO, Fox Memorial Hospital. So I'm going to hit the quick merge button there. And the second one is an interesting group. It contains of Walmart records, which are not duplicates, but these are, for example, connected to the same instance, to the same organization. So instead of merging these records, we want to do something alternatively. And that is exactly what Data Action Platform, or the integration of Data Action Platform, allows you to do here. So what I can do, I can go in this drop-down menu here, and I can activate the action launcher, which is from the Data Action Platform. Or secondly, I could select the records that I want to use in the DAP context, and then click the action launcher button on the left. But one thing I can do when accessing the action launcher, these are all the actions that are currently made available to my profile. So the platform allows you to decide who has access to what in your Salesforce environment. And the thing I want to do now, instead of merging these records because they're not duplicates, I want to set an account hierarchy because these accounts are connected with each other. So I'm picking that action. I'm going to click the next button, where we have a nice interface. It's basically a micro application in which I can drag and drop a hierarchy. For example, Walmart, San Francisco, New York, and Arizona fall under the main Walmart account, and the Union Square one can be part of San Francisco. People that work with Salesforce a lot know that it's really difficult to set up hierarchies really quickly. Well, this is such a tool that allows you to create an account hierarchy in a matter of seconds. Otherwise, I would have to access all these accounts separately, update the parent ID, parent account ID field, and so on and so on. So this is a really easy way of achieving that. So I'm happy with this setup. I can click next. I will get a summary of what I'm about to do. So I'm updating all these parent account IDs, and I can start it. Then it will process my action, after which I can click finish. And instead of merging these records, I have set them in a hierarchy, which is really nice. So now I don't want to merge this record, but I can flag this group as a false positive, do not show again. So the next time I will run a job, it will remember that the Walmart records here are connected in a hierarchy and should not be considered as duplicate records. Really nice stuff. So yeah, this is just one example of the stuff that we do from a duplicate results list in Duplicate Check. One of the things we are currently working on, which is part of our next release in January, is the ability to run a flow on your records. With Salesforce Flow, you can do a lot of things. Possibilities are endless, and you can now run your flow on Duplicate Check results by clicking on the Run a Flow action. And another thing that we're working in is the ability to create or add custom actions to the action launcher to run your own Apex codes on records, which allows you to do a ton of things, of course, because what we see nowadays is that people don't necessarily want to always execute a merge, but they want to do other things. Maybe they want to connect the records. Maybe they want to bring the records to a staging object or a queuing object or whatever. So those things will now be possible with this interface that we've created.
Before moving to the next
yes.
section, we have already a couple of questions. One from Justus, which is, which object can be mass deleted? Are opportunities available?
That's a good question. So the mass delete action in Data Action Platform works with any objects, also the opportunity object. So there are no limitations there. If you go to the .job page, you can select records based on filter criteria, and then you can simply select the mass delete action, run your mass delete, and then clean up opportunities that are no longer valid, for example. So the mass delete works on any object based on the filter criteria that you set yourself.
And then we have another question from Sarah. Is this function released? Cannot find it.
Yeah, it is. Currently, it is part of the Duplicate Check job results page. And if you don't have Data Action Platform installed yet, you will still see the Action Launcher button with a Learn More link, which you can click, and you can find information on how to install Data Action Platform. And then again, it's a free installation. Of course, we have a paid subscription as well, with which gives you additional options. But for example, running a mass update on your duplicate results is available. So you'd have to install the application first, and then it's visible. If neither of these options that I just described are visible, then you might not be on the latest version of Duplicate Check. And if that's the case, then I would suggest reaching out to our support team, and they can help you getting to the latest version of this.
Awesome.
All right. So what we've now seen is running dep actions on groups. We can also run dep actions on pairs if you want to, by switching to pair view. But we can also target the entire list of duplicate results at once. And to do so, we can do that from the Data Action Platform app out. So I have to switch apps, going to the Data Action Platform application. The menu will change at the top, and I can now access dep job. And this is basically the page where you start a batch job to run an action on a really large set of data. or on the duplicate check job results records that you found. I can do so on the top right, clicking Add New Job. I can give this job a name. And the thing I want to do now, which is also a real life use case, by the way, the records that I've now found that are duplicate in the lead object was another job that I ran on leads, finding all the duplicate leads that are currently in my organization. I want to give them a status that they're duplicates. So I want to update the fields so to indicate that the records that are found are duplicates. And based on that, you can run certain flows, run certain processes, so that is so the person that works with this data knows that it's a duplicate record. And I can do so by giving in a name, so updating DC job result leads. And then in the select records select list, you can now see that I can simply select an object, for example, the opportunity object, to do a mass delete. Or I can go back and I can select a results list from either record validation or duplicate check. If I enter duplicate check, then you can see the two jobs that I ran here. They're available for selection. And what I want to do, I want to target my duplicate leads that I found in a duplicate check job. And I'm going to click next. Then we will get to the action launcher again. I can pick my action. What I want to do a mass update, because I want to update the fields, the duplicate status fields. I'm going to update the value with duplicate. If I want, I can mass update additional fields as well. I can work with field variables if I want to for example, update the field with the value of a related record, which is a really nice use case. And I'm clicking next now, updating duplicate status to duplicate. And now all the duplicates that are found in my lead duplicate job will be updated with the status. It's exactly what I want. And the second thing I want to do, currently all these leads are assigned to my salespeople, but I don't want that because they might reach out to leads that are duplicates, so they don't know the right context of that lead at the moment. So what I want to do, I want to withdraw the ownership from my sales team, put the records in a queue, and only after I resolve the duplicates, I want to grant them access to the leads again. So I can use DUP for that as well. So withdraw ownership of duplicate leads. I'm going to select the records. Again, the same duplicate leads report. Clicking next. Then I want to use the assign ownership action. And then I'm going to look up a queue. I've created a duplicate record queue specifically for this use case. And I'm going to click next. Getting the summary again. Clicking start. So now all the leads that we found as duplicates, so we designated them to be duplicates, we're now withdrawing the ownership from sales, putting them in a queue so that salespeople will not go after these leads at the moment. We can then resolve the duplicates at any given time based on our difficult decision making, which is most often the case. And then when we have a clean list, we can distribute the leads again to the sales teams. The nice thing about Data Action Platform is that it comes with an audit log. So all the things that I just did, we keep track of. And if we go to the DUP setup, we're going to find the audit log here. We have two audit logs, one for the actions that we do. So you can see here that we just did a job for assign ownership and mass updates. And previously, from the DC job results, I did the set account hierarchy. And if I go to the record audit log, I can see a log of record updates, record changes, when DUP creates new records. So we basically keep track of everything based on the record level, but also based on the action level itself. It's a really nice way to keep track of everything that happened with your data. And also in Q1 2023, we will have an undo possibility that will be part of this page, where you can undo changes to your data, record creations, for example, with the click of a button. Is going to be really easy. So yeah, that's just in a nutshell, a quick example of what we can do with these integrations. Then again, they're available right now. Another thing that I would quickly want to highlight is where we are going towards with all this interconnectivity stuff. So right now, we release the ability to run the entire data action library on DC and RV job results, on pairs, groups, and on the entire job results. In Q1 2023, we're adding run a flow and run apex to the action library, which opens up a ton of possibilities, stuff you can do with your data, with your duplicate data. Not only with your duplicate data, of course, because data action platform can run all these things on data with other duplicate contexts as well. And as a last step, what we want to do, we are going to offer the ability to run the DEP actions only on master records. So you run a duplicate check job, you run your merges. We're going to keep track of all the merges and what the master records eventually are. And then we're going to give you the possibility to do a follow-up action on the master records. For example, create a task, do assign ownership, that kind of stuff, which is of course really useful. And this will be part of the DC job redesign. We're redesigning the entire DC job page, the beginning root page where you see all the jobs. We're redesigning that with a lot of new functionality, and this will be part of that, which is going to be really nice. So yeah, that was the first part of the demo. I believe we have a nice poll for you guys. So Nicola?
Yes, indeed. I'm launching now a poll, and basically we are curious, like as a first question, we are asking you, how often do you end up using a third-party apps to manage bulk actions outside Salesforce? For example, as we just showed, to mass upload, mass assign ownership, and mass convert records. Okay, we see 1 to 10 times a month, more than 25. Somebody's even like saying wishing it's too many times. They would like to do it without actually exporting the data. Let's see. See a few more answers coming in. All right. So basically, most of them, like 79%, is between 1 and 10 times a month. That's the average time the user actually doing using third-party apps to manage bulk actions in Salesforce, and they do this outside. Then we have like between 10 and 25 a month. And then only a few of our viewers, more than 25 a month. And then, of course, I'm very curious about the the person that we wish could do it inside Salesforce without exporting data. Okay. There's
okay,
the results.
Install data action platform, guys. So yeah, let's proceed to the second part of the demonstration. Yep. Another thing that we released, which is really pretty nice, is the ability to exclude accounts that are connected in a hierarchy from being matched in duplicate check. And the nice thing is that this is the #1 requested feature on the Plauti feedback platform. You might have seen it come across. We have a feedback platform nowadays. I have it open here, in which we basically ask for feedback from you guys, from our user base. Basically what we want to do, we want to build our roadmap based on things that people want to see. And this is a really nice way for us to gather that feedback. So what you can do, you can submit a post and you can place your votes on tickets you think is interesting. And we are actually picking up stuff from the feedback platform, like the feature that I'm now going to show you. The Thing is, we've seen a lot of issues, and let me switch to duplicate check with account names that are connected in a hierarchy, and they often share the same name or a large part of the same name. For example, when I open up McDonald's New York here, you can see that it returns a lot of duplicate records, but if you look closely, they're not duplicate records at all. And you can do one thing, of course, you can find these in a duplicate check job and then use the discard system to flag these as false positives. But we now have a smarter way of dealing with these kind of things. We can now ignore these as duplicates if they are connected in a hierarchy. And it's actually pretty simple to set it up. So I'm going to show it now. Just to prove to you guys, when I switch to a few account hierarchy here, you can see that all of these records are connected in a hierarchy. So we got the headquarters, London, New York, and then under New York, full Brooklyn, Harlem, in Upper East Side. And if I switch back to the record, we now see that DC Live is picking up all these dupes. And if I switch to the DC setup now if I move to the account object on the left side, and then go to the third tab, the account settings tab, then you can see we've added a new setting called Exclude Accounts that are connected via account hierarchy as potential duplicates. So step one in setting this up is simply switching the toggle, after which you get a nice toast message which says that you have to run a search index job or an index batch job to basically index all the accounts that are connected via a hierarchy. I can do that by switching to the index tab. Then on the right, I can start the create account hierarchy index. So this is a process which runs fairly quickly. So we're now checking out all the accounts and how they are related to each other. We're going to store that information. And when it's completed, we're basically already done, and I can now go back to my account. And if I hit the refresh button, then you will see that it will only find the record that is actually duplicate McDonald's NY, which is a duplicate of McDonald's New York. So this now works for this specific example, but for all the accounts in my database, even if you have millions and millions of records that are connected in a hierarchy model, will not be picked up as duplicates anymore. So you will see far less false positive duplicate matches in duplicate check, which is pretty awesome. And it's a really simple way of setting it up, and it's now available in everyone's organizations as well to check out. So yeah, that's basically the demo. Nicola, I'm going back to you. Maybe you can head over to the next part.
Sure. Yeah. In the meantime, we will want to launch the second poll for today, which is related to what you just have seen about the account hierarchy. So the question is, like, we know how difficult it is to handle account hierarchy when duplicates are also affecting your Salesforce instance. But how important is to you if this feature is helping you keeping data quality in check while maintaining the hierarchy of your accounts? And meanwhile, we get some of the answer in. I have also a question from Eustace. It says, is it true that DAP and DC both need the Salesforce campaign module? We have a second Salesforce environment using the old group edition, and campaigns do not work there, as far as I understand.
Yeah, this is just correct. But the good news is that we do not have a dependency on the campaign module. So you're able to install any of our applications in our suite with or without having a campaign module activated in Salesforce.
All right. Meanwhile, from the poll, we see that people find this fairly important. They really want to know whether the record is unique before actually merging data by mistake. And as we allow last couple of answer back, maybe we can also, I guess we can also move to the next section which is our Q&A. Oh, we have Alexandre. Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Alexandre. You can also unmute yourself. Oh, no problem. No problem. No problem.
I guess not many questions pop up at the moment. If people have questions at a later time, of course, feel free to reach out to us.
Sure thing. Like we will. Let me just get to the next section here. Okay. Yeah. Basically, we can get over with the Q&A session. So also while this is going, we will also gather your feedback, doubts, and any other kind of question that you will do. Meanwhile, I'm also sharing with you guys. I just want to remind that you can also check, you can find out in the chat the link to our feedback portal. So you're free to visit the portal and start today sharing your ideas for improvement. If no more question, I guess we can even move to the next section. All right. Okay. Oh, wait, we see a question here. So Tibor's asking, is there a difference how DAP handles custom objects and standard objects? Is the official Salesforce documentation rule set followed by DAP?
Data Action Platform is able to work with any object, standard objects, custom objects, objects from a managed package. It doesn't really matter. But we follow the Salesforce rules in terms of field level security, sharing settings, and all the security related topics related to accessing data, for example. But furthermore, yeah, we don't have any limits there. So we can run all of our actions on any object. If it makes sense, of course, we cannot convert any other object than that leads, for example, just as an example. But furthermore, yeah, we were able to work with any object, and that makes it such a powerful tool.
All right. And we have a question from Alexandre. What is the pricing model for DAP? On AppExchange, it mentions starting from $125 per month. It is depending on the volume of records. So it is depending on how many records per action you want to process, of course, and the specific actions you want to cover. I can forward to you the link where you can find more information about that action platform, Alexandre. And also you're free to over to our website and chat with our team, which is ready to answer to all your questions, even to guide you through our product. All right. I guess that before we go, of course, as per last point of our agenda, we would like to remind you our ongoing Plauti season offers. Of course, like we always want to make sure that some last minute presents, especially before Christmas Day. So make sure to include in your list your Salesforce org by adopting Plauti data quality solution before December 25th to get a 15% off on all Plauti solution, which includes of course, like a duplicate check, record validation, and data action platform. And as mentioned in our webinar invite, we are currently offering a free data action platform trial, which is available throughout the month of December. So if you install it even today, you will be able to use the data action platform trial with all the new release and all the premium features until the end of the year. After that, after the trial, that will automatically revert to the free version. No credit card information will be required, of course, and all integrations with your current duplicate check will be still free and will remain free to be used in the future. And that was all for today's webinar. We thank you all for joining us. As always, should you have more questions related to data action platform, record validation, duplicate check, and Plauti data management suite, feel free to over to our website, plauti.com. And again, as I said, like our team of experts is waiting to answer your questions or to have a dedicated demo of our product scheduled. And of course, do not forget to check out our feedback portal at feedback.plauti.com. Thank you for watching, and goodbye until next time.